Once upon a time, in a small, peaceful village surrounded by green fields, blooming flowers, and a flowing, sparkling river, there lived a hardworking trader. Every morning, before the sun had fully risen, he would rise from his simple wooden bed, stretch, and prepare for his day at the bustling market. He traded grains, vegetables, fruits, spices, and occasionally small handmade items, always making sure to bring something special that might catch the villagers' eyes. Assisting him in his daily work was a young and strong donkey. This donkey was capable of carrying many heavy sacks on his back and had the stamina to walk long distances without tiring. The trader loved him dearly, for he knew that without the donkey's help, his business would be slow and much more difficult. He fed the donkey the best food, kept him clean, groomed his coat, and often whispered encouraging words to him, patting his back gently. Yet, despite all the love and care, the donkey had one glaring flaw: he was extremely lazy. He hated work. He hated walking. He even hated the idea of moving if there was food or a cozy spot to lie down nearby. Every morning, as the trader loaded the sacks onto his back, the donkey would groan loudly, stomp his hooves, and occasionally bray softly as if to say, "Do I really have to do this today?" He would imagine staying home in the shade, nibbling on fresh grass, and napping in the warmth of the sun. "Oh, my poor back, this is too heavy. Must we go again today?" he would mutter to himself. He even began to imagine that the river they had to cross each morning held magical powers that could somehow make the sacks on his back disappear. He pictured it sparkling and shimmering, thinking it could be a shortcut to avoid work entirely. One morning, a friend of the trader arrived with exciting news. "There is a huge demand for salt in the market. You could sell a lot today and earn more than ever before." The trader's eyes lit up. "Thank you for telling me. I must start selling salt immediately," he exclaimed. Excitedly, he arranged 12 sacks of salt and carefully loaded 6 onto the donkey's back. The donkey, sensing the weight, froze on the spot and refused to budge. "Oh no, this is far too much. I cannot walk with this heavy load," he thought, shaking his head dramatically. The trader, understanding his companion's reluctance but determined to continue, removed 1 sack. Yet even with the lighter load, the donkey remained stubbornly seated on the ground. With a gentle poke and a soft nudge, the donkey reluctantly began walking, slowly but steadily. That day, the trader sold all the salt in the market, earning a handsome profit. As they returned home, the donkey felt a rare moment of relief, for he had no load to carry back. Days passed, each following a similar routine. The donkey's laziness continued, and every day he tried to find ways to avoid work. One sunny morning, as they approached the river, the donkey's hooves slipped on the wet, moss-covered bank. With a loud splash, he tumbled into the cool, flowing water. He struggled briefly, then realized something strange. His back felt light as a feather. "Oh, how curious, my load, it's gone. This river must be magical," he exclaimed in delight. Overjoyed, he spent the entire day eating, resting, and napping in the sun, convinced he had discovered a secret shortcut to avoiding work. The next morning, the donkey woke up early, eager to test the magic again. "Yesterday was wonderful. Today I'll sit in the river once more and my burdens will vanish just like before," he thought mischievously. As the trader loaded the sacks and began walking toward the market, the donkey followed, plotting his moment to jump into the river. Just as they reached the familiar spot, the donkey sat down deliberately, expecting the water to free him from work again. But the clever trader was not so easily tricked. He had anticipated the donkey's plan and had prepared a lesson in cleverness. The next morning, he loaded 8 sacks onto the donkey's back, but these were no ordinary sacks, they were filled with cotton. The donkey, confident in the magic of the river, waddled happily into the water, expecting to feel the same relief. However, the cotton absorbed the water instantly and grew heavier than before. "Oh no, my back, it's so heavy. What is happening?" "This isn't magic," the donkey groaned, struggling to rise. He realized with growing dread that there was no magic at all. He had simply been lazy and foolish, hopping for an easy way out. From that day forward, the donkey never attempted to trick the trader again. He carried his loads faithfully, walking to the market and back every day, understanding that diligence and honesty were far more rewarding than clever tricks. The trader continued his business successfully, selling grains, spices, and fruits to the villagers, and both of them lived happily in the village. The donkey had learned an important lesson. Laziness might seem fun for a short while, but hard work, patience, and integrity always bring success, satisfaction, and peace of mind. Even the villagers noticed the transformation, as the donkey who once refused to work became a symbol of effort, patience, and wisdom. The donkey, once so fond of avoiding work, now felt a quiet pride as he trotted beside the trader each morning. He understood that shortcuts rarely lead to true reward, and that the effort put into every task mattered more than the desire for ease. And so, the trader and his donkey became an example to the village, teaching young and old alike that persistence, responsibility, and honesty would always outweigh laziness, and that every burden carried with care brought its own hidden rewards. From that day onward, the village remembered the story of the once lazy donkey and the wise trader. It was a tale that parents told their children, reminding them that while rest and enjoyment are important, true success comes from doing one's work diligently, facing challenges bravely, and never trying to avoid responsibility. The donkey, though small and humble, had grown wiser, and in his own way, he had found joy in helping, learning, and living an honest life. And the river, once seen as a shortcut to laziness, became a reminder that work could not be avoided, and that every step, no matter how heavy the burden, was worth the effort.